Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. I was just saying I'm feeling a little tired today. Like I kind of just want to lay in Shavasana, but we're not going to do that. We are going to move. We're going to get warmed up, and then I'm thinking maybe a little bit of a longer Shavasana today to kick off the week. We are going to begin in Child's Pose, so please come down to your mat. And you can either take your knees wide, toes together, hands forward. Or you can bring your knees together, toes together, hands back. No matter what version you choose, please let your shoulders relax down towards the mat. So surrender the shoulders forward. Even if the arms are extended forward, can you relax and let the triceps get a little closer to the mat? Close your eyes if you haven't already. And then take a big breath in. Exhale, gently settle down, and then you have nowhere to be for the next hour. So let your body embrace this idea of nowhere to be, nothing to do. I can fully relax. If you're thinking about your to-do list, no to-do lists here. Become fully present by focusing on your breath. If you like, you could focus on the movement of your belly, or maybe on the sensation of the air around your nostrils or in the back of your throat. This thing that's so automatic that we don't always pay a ton of attention to. Let this be your primary focus. Feel your breath. Our intention for today's class will be softening. And yes, I'll ask you to soften in the physical body. But before we move into the practice, I'd like you to think if there's anything you've been trying to force in your life. And I know this is a very big question for us to kick class off with. And it might be something that you really want that just isn't working. Or it could be something simple where you're trying to force a new diet and that's not working. Or maybe it could be very subtle. You might not even realize that you are using force to try to push this new thing into your life, to try to maybe create this new thing. The idea of force is really built around masculine energy. And we think of it maybe as powerful. But today we're going to explore softening the feminine and notice just how powerful softening can be, even when it comes to strength. And especially when it comes to shaping our lives. So please be soft. Where can you soften more into this pose? Maybe it's the space between your eyebrows for 3 more deep breaths. And if you didn't manage to find anything in your life that you feel like you're forcing, fantastic, don't worry. We'll work with the physical body today. It'll have just the same effect. One more breath in. And a breath out. Next, inhale, very slowly walk the hands up if they're forward, or if they're back, extend the arms forward, and then push yourself up onto your knees. And then kick your feet around and come to your butt into a comfortable seat. You could come into Sukhasana. You might have your legs extended out in front of you. Anything that feels comfortable. A bolster under the butt or a blanket or a pillow is just fine as well. Then take your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly. And as you inhale, pull the breath all the way down into the hand at the bottom. Feel the belly expand. And then once the bottom of the belly expands, can you then lift the top hand by drawing breath into the chest and the collarbones? As you exhale, same movement, you'll let the top hand fall as you exhale from the collarbones, and then exhale from the low belly, the hand will move in towards the belly button. So this is just this little easy breathing pattern to start. Inhale, draw the breath deep into your low abdomen. Diaphragm will expand down, and then as you maybe take a couple sips of extra air, let the collarbones expand, chest expands. As you exhale, hand will fall on the top, and then the hand will very slowly fall on the bottom. Take 3 more like this, and try to take out any sips and make it a fluid movement. See how big and how much you can make your hands move. And if you feel any resistance, that's normal. Every breath you'll be able to get a little bit more expansive. Take 1 more. And then release your hands down by your sides, rock back onto your butt. Extend your legs out to the sides and just bounce through the legs. You could have the knees bent here too. You can rock the knees forward and back. So we move from internal kind of to external rotation. Again, internal, external rotation. And then extend the legs as much as possible. Toes will curl back towards the shins. Come into a very small forward fold, walking the hands forward. You don't have to go very deep. Close your eyes, just once you feel a stretch on the hamstrings. And then start to breathe the breath that you'd like to use in class. Either Ujjayi breath, or perhaps you do a 5 or 6 count. Really starting with the breath today, because this is the vehicle for softening. We need breath to soften. Take 1 more. And then inhale, walk your hands back up. Come back up to a seat. Inhale, hands to heart center. And then exhale, walk 1 foot up, walk the other foot up, and come to a little bear seat. So you're just in a bit of a bear squat. Now turn your right knee forward. You'll externally rotate, and we'll come to a 90-90. So as you just drop the right knee down to the ground, you'll turn to the top of the mat. Look down, make sure your knee is in line with your ankle, your knee is in line with your hip. Essentially, your front leg is in pigeon pose, your back leg is in 90-90, so knee in line with hip, knee in line with ankle again. And then take your hands towards the ground. Turn your torso so your belly button aligns somewhat over that thigh, and instead of folding forward and surrendering and rounding to the spine, keep your spine straight. So spine is as straight as you can make it. Pull your right hip backwards and then walk the hands forward. Once the spine starts to bend, I want you to lift up. So no rounding in the spine. Then start to, if you can't feel a stretch, move side to side until you can really find a stretch on your glute. This is hard for a lot of yogis because we're so accustomed to surrendering, but actually I feel the stretch more when I pull right hip back, keep the spine straight, and try to drag that right knee backwards continually. If you have any issues with this, please message me after class and I can tell you a few more cues to try to find it. Push right hip back, push right knee back. Chest is forward, almost like you're going to be in cobra or up dog. Squeeze your scapula together for 3, 2, 1. Come on back up, lift up. As a reminder, this is a fantastic pose if you don't want to do pigeon class. Always substitute with this because we're working on the hip. Now, hands come back to heart center. Lift back up into your bear seat. Great. And same thing, just turning over to the back of the mat. You'll find knee to ankle alignment, knee to hip alignment. So recalibrate. If you need, you could be leaning off to one side. Try to sit up as straight as you can. Pull left hip back, spine is straight. Then walk the hands forward, turning the belly button towards the thigh. Now you might notice on this side, you have to move in a different direction to find the stretch. So maybe you move over to the left side. The real trick is a continual pull of the left knee backwards and the left hip backwards until you can feel that sensation across your glute, across your butt. Take a couple breaths, making sure to maintain the engagement. Spine is straight, shoulder blades back. Imagine you're almost in a baby cobra. And then come back up, walk your hands up, bring them to heart center. Come back to your bear sit, and now we'll just try to move from side to side without falling over. You might need to lean back on your butt, and you'll drop forward, knees forward, turn to the front of the mat. Imagine you're almost twisting to the right slightly, and then you'll come and lift back to center and move towards the back of the mat. Twist your spine to the left slightly, maybe gaze to the left. Inhale up to center, and then over again, front of the mat, twist, gaze to the right. See how deeply you could twist? Inhale up to center, twist over to the left, gaze to the left, twist. Come back to center, bear seat. And now you have 2 options. You are going to make your way to tabletop pose. We are in a bear seat, so you could also try coming to tabletop pose without using your hands. It will look a little different than what we normally do because you're in a different pose, so you might have to lean forward, shimmy over, back onto the mat. There's tons of ways to do it, right? Then once you're there, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Close your eyes and just take some cat and cow at your own speed, dropping the belly, rolling the shoulders back, gazing forward as you inhale. And then exhale, tucking and rounding the chin. Follow your breath. And then after 3 rounds of your standard cat and cow, if you'd like to add in any other movements just to explore the body today, feel free to take a few other movements. One more round, even out both sides if you haven't already. And then zip your knees together. Reach your left leg back, extend through the leg. And then one big step, exhale, right knee to right tricep, step the foot to the outside of the hand. We're coming to a low lunge, a stretch on this back hip flexor. I've been doing this a lot lately because we need it a lot lately. This is one of the most crucial things in yoga. We use our hip extension, right, which is what we're currently in, so much. So allow the hip to surrender down to the ground. Option to lift the back knee up off the mat and hold here. Either way, you feel a deep stretch in the right hip flexor. Today, instead of kind of forcing and surrendering, take movement. So sway side to side, forward and back. See if you can't wiggle your way down deeper into the stretch. So this is my wiggling theory. My theory is when we wiggle, our body gets a little bit disarmed. When we start practicing yoga, basically you have an internal regulator that's protecting you, so it won't allow you to stretch as deeply as you can physically, which is normal. It protects us. It's just being human. But by moving, we can kind of trick that regulator into being like, okay, you seem like you're ready. You might want to get a bit deeper in. So hold here for a little bit longer. Movement. And then release the knee down, shimmy it back in. Knee is in line with hip on that right side. Connect your left knee to tricep, lift the foot, and then step back, tabletop pose. Right away, you can extend the right leg back, and then take right knee to right tricep, one big step, knee comes to the outside of the arm. Then once you're there, shimmy back and sink down into the left hip flexor. I just realized I'm wearing black pants with black chairs today, so I'm gonna move these so you can see my legs a little bit better as we work. While I do this, stretch down, and then option to lift that back knee, sway and add in movement. Our sole purpose is to disarm as we move. There we go, a little bit better. It doesn't help with the black mat, but you get the gist. Match what you've done on the other side. So if the back knee was up on the other side, please take it on this side, vice versa. A little bit longer. And release the knee down to the mat. Shimmy it in by using your toe. Hop it up, knee in line with hip. Connect right knee to right tricep. Lift the foot. And then back, tabletop pose. Walk your hand one handprint forward, curl your toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. First down dog of the day, movement or stay still, it's up to you. Try lifting your heels up a little bit and then sink them down. Again, using movement. Inhale, lift onto your toes, heels maybe as high as you can get them. And then sink down, see how low you can. Once more, lift up. And then this time stay lifted, look forward, spread your fingers wide, keep your palms connected, and tiptoe to the top of the mat, keeping your hands connected for as long as you can. You might have your knees bent, that's fine. But really trying to keep the weight in the hands until you fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 3 times. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze scapula, lift with the low back. Exhale, fold. Once more, lift up halfway and fold. Step your feet wide, hip width distance apart. And then 2 options. If you have any back problems, you're going to sit your butt back, come through chair and come to standing. If your spine is just fine, you can push your feet away from each other. Don't move them, but push them away from each other. Squeeze your glutes and roll up 1 vertebra at a time. I don't know if this is called a zombie roll, but I'd like to call it a zombie roll. All the way, take your time coming up. Let your arms be really heavy, head is heavy. Until you reach the top of the mat. Hands face forward, Tadasana. Close your eyes. Let your shoulders relax down. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. You might want to walk your feet together or keep them wide. It's up to you. You'll step your right foot back into a low lunge. Then lower the back knee down and come on up into Anjaneyasana. So I did say that today is about surrendering, right? Softening. First, we will definitely soften into this pose. So you could take the hands on the knees just for a little bit of support rather than having the arms up. Sometimes I find when I'm really trying to focus on the legs, I'm like, I don't really want my arms involved that much. So let yourself sink down. Breath in. Breath out. Reminder, if you have any pressure on the knee, you could pad up the back knee. Inhale. Exhale. Once more, breath in. And then as you exhale, just slide the hands down to frame the foot. Curl the back knee under, lift the back knee up. Look forward, take one big step to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands right away. Step left foot back, lower back knee down, and same thing, Anjaneyasana on the opposite side. Take your time. You could stay with the hands down if you really wanted, but if you can, try to create a basket and just rest the hands on the knee. Now, even though we have the hands on the knee, the weight is light. Very light pressure on the knee. I'm not shrugging my shoulders up. My arms aren't super tense. More so, I'm encouraging my body to relax into this really big stretch on the left hip flexor. And you should be able to feel it incrementally, little by little, as it starts to release. If it gets too scary and you're like, oh man, I'm way too deep, you can pull out a little bit and just focus on pulling right hip back, left hip forward to get the big stretch, but also with a little bit of engagement if you feel like you need that protection. Hold, breath in. Breath out. Inhale. And then exhale, slide the hands down, frame the foot. Curl the back toe under, lift the back knee up. Look forward, one big step forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Now take your feet hip width distance apart. Once again, two options. Option one, you can take your peace fingers and grab for your big toes. Pull yourself down and into a fold. Option two, you might take gorilla pose and walk your toes on top of your hands. Toes can come to the back of the wrists. Now, I might have my legs straight, but guess what? You can have your legs nice and bent in order to reach the toes. And then once you fold the head down, gradually work on starting to straighten the legs. So it's a slow process. And you might even notice, okay, I have my shaking point, and you could just stop there and then bend the legs a little bit more. Then you might try to straighten a bit more. See if you can get up, allow yourself to shake, and then exhale, bend down a little bit. Remember this, easing in to these big stretches. Take a few more. And release, walk the hands out from under the feet or release the toes, fingertips down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Two options. Option one, sit back and come through chair to stand. Otherwise, you're welcome to roll up one more time. Pushing the feet away from each other and squeezing into your glutes, your butt as you roll up. Palms face forward, Tadasana. Close your eyes. Take 3 breaths. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Right away, inhale your right leg high. And take a second to inhale, lift high up on your left toes. And then sink your left heel down. So once more, we've got movement in the heel, lifting up, sinking down. Once more, lift up. And then exhale, knee to nose. Take a breath in, lean forward, and step through low lunge. Exhale. Now bring your back knee down one more time. Anjaneyasana, but instead of lifting up, we are going to move through a little bit of a squirrely movement. If you have blocks, you're welcome to take blocks under the hands. But what we'll do, and a reminder, you can pat up the back knee if you feel any pressure, is to slowly walk the hands back, straighten the front leg, curl the toes back. Find a stretch on your right hamstring as you pull the right hip back. And then inhale, you'll move forward almost like you're trying to crawl to the top of the mat. See how far you can sink down until you find the stretch in the left hip flexor. So sensation should alternate based on side. Inhale, push the butt back, walk the hands back, stretch, really pull the right heel and right hip backwards. Exhale, walk the hands forward and come as low as you can. Get really low. Last time. Hands come back. Reach. Pull right hip back. Squeeze toes back towards the shin. And then come forward. Walk the hands, frame the foot. Curl the back toe under, lift the back knee up. Inhale up, crescent pose, hands high. Once more. You are welcome to take hands on the knee if that feels better today, just to focus on sensation. If you can, try keeping hands up and see how low you can get, ideally until we've got knee in line with ankle. Maybe, oh, it's awful, but we can try it. Hold there. 3, 2. Take a breath in. 1. And then exhale, sweep your hands down, frame your foot. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg high right away. And now we keep that leg high while we inhale, lift right heel up. Come onto your toes. Exhale, lower the heel down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Once more, lift up and then stay on the heel. Exhale, take your left knee to your nose. Stay where you are, breath in, lean forward, and exhale, you'll step through, low lunge, bring the back knee down to the mat. Now, same concept, the sensation will alternate side to side. So as you inhale, walk the hands back, straighten the left leg, pull back, left hip, left heel, find the stretch on the hamstring. Exhale, walk the hands forward and see how deep you can get until you find that stretch in the right hip flexor. Inhale up, hands walk back, pull. Chest extends to the front of the room. Exhale, walk forward. Last time, hands walk back, pull, finding that stretch. And then come forward, frame the foot with your hands, push down for a second, find that stretch on the hip flexor, then curl the back knee under, or the back toe under, lift the back knee up. Inhale up, crescent pose, hands high. As I said, you're welcome. If you like, you can keep the hands on the leg today if you're finding that hyper-focusing in the hip flexor is working. Otherwise, hands reach the sky and your arms are straight as they can be. Try to bring your front knee in line with your ankle. I'm doing it too. It's a lot of work. We can do it together. Breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Once more, breath in. And then exhale, you'll sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank or tabletop. I did say the arms are not the show today, but we'll do a little bit. Lower down your belly, elbows move back. 3, 2, to the ground, 1. Let's take the fingers out to the side today and just fingertips, so palms tent. First, roll your shoulders back, squeeze your scapula together. And then inhale, lift your chest up, any amount. Exhale, stay where you are, roll your shoulders back again, squeeze the shoulder blades together more, and then see if you can inhale, lift a little higher. Option to stay, option to place the palms on the ground and hold, or you can drop left shoulder forward, look over the right shoulder. Inhale, you'll come up, drop right shoulder forward, left, look over left. Adding in a bit of rotation. Inhale, up. Exhale, over the right. If you're just holding is fine too. Soften through the belly. Inhale, up. Exhale, over to the left. Bring yourself back to center. And then engage, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your low back. Try to lift your hands. Bring them by your sides in your push-up prep. Curl your toes under, lift up. If you're doing plank, you lift the knees first, pull the belly in and back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, tiptoe your way to the top of the mat. Fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, chair pose, hands high. Exhale, come to standing, hands by your side, Tadasana. All right, I have two cues today. So option one, you could do this without blocks or with a chair. Option two, you could do it with a chair. I'll show both options. We are just moving. No, I'm not going to tell you. I was going to tell you what we're going to do, but I want you to soften into it. And if you know, you might already be like, oh, so shift your weight over into your left foot. Bring your right knee up, find a 90-degree bend, and then take the hands around the knee today. I know, rare for me, and see how tight you can pull the knee into the chest. Really, really tight. If you have any pinching in the closing angle side, that's the inside in here, you can back off slightly, but if not, really squeeze it and see how high you can get it. Keep the knee where it is, release the hands. Oh. Inhale. Exhale, feet together, hands by your side, Tadasana. We'll take the other side, shift your weight over into your right leg, left knee just comes on up, and then you can do the same thing. See how tight you can get the knee into the chest. Eventually it'll just stop, and that's fine. At the same time, think about straightening through your right leg as much as you can. Take a breath in. And then squeeze into the hip flexor on the knee, release the hands, keep the knee where it is. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Feet together, hands by your sides, Tadasana. Close your eyes. Briefly come back to your intention, i.e. the thing that you are forcing. Feel the body soften in Tadasana. Breath in. And out. Inhale, sweep up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And now pause here. Take a little bend in your knees. So two options. You might have if you have a chair in your room or anything about at this height, you are welcome to grab for a chair and have this as support. So you can look around your room, see what might work, a table. If you don't have this and you have the range to bring your hands onto the ground with your legs basically straight, you're also welcome to do this with your legs from the ground or on blocks. If we had blocks, that would be ideal, but I understand that most of you don't have blocks at home. So option one, chair. Option two, blocks that you maybe have because you're a rock star. Option three, hands on the ground. I will demo from the chair. Shift your weight, and ideally, I'm gonna move my chair. Try to get the chair or the table in line so your wrists are under your shoulders. Great, everybody looks pretty good. Perfect, now shift your weight over into your left leg, extend your right leg back. We're in warrior three, look at that. So holding warrior three for a little bit. See how high you can lift the right leg up without doing too much of a back bend. That might be the inclination. Ideally, your legs right now are creating a 90-degree angle, corner of a square, right? So keep pushing through your right heel, straighten through the right leg, and hold here. If your hands are on the ground, you're closer to a standing splits, and that's exactly what I want, so you're doing that great too. 3, 2, 1, release, feet together. Just take a full cleansing breath. Switch your weight over into your right leg, extend your left leg back. Same concept, notice if there starts to be a big bend in the back, try pulling your abdomen in, right, belly button to spine, then lift, imagining that we're creating a 90-degree angle, which is probably not gonna be happening, but that's okay, that's the imagination. As you straighten through your right leg, extend left leg back and hold. Your left leg should be as straight as possible. Try to straighten through good adjustments. Push through the heel. 3, 2, and 1. Feet together, release. Okay, slowly, if you're in the chair, you can just walk your hands up and come up into Tadasana. If you're in a forward fold, take a breath and then come through chair and meet us in Tadasana, hands by your sides. Breath in. Breath out. You can keep your chair where it is, bring your hands to your hips, shift your weight over into your left leg, and just step your right foot back just a couple feet. So let's say 2 feet. It's not super wide stance. Both your hips are still pointing forward. We're moving towards a pyramid pose. So rotate left hip back, right hip forward. Start folding over your left leg, bringing your belly button towards your thigh. Eventually, hands might come down, or you could pause halfway. If your hands can come down to the ground, you are finding a stretch in that left hamstring. Imagine you can bring your chin towards your shin as you gaze at your big toe. The inclination will be to open the hip. So by pulling back in the left hip and pushing your right hip forward, you'll counteract that. And it should feel like a pretty big shift when you do it. And essentially what's happening is the hips are closing. Fold a little bit deeper. Lots of hamstring work today. 3, 2, and 1. Come forward if you're halfway. Stay where you are. If your hands are on the ground, lift your hands to your hips and lift up halfway. Exhale. And then inhale, come on back up, gazing forward with your hands on your hips. Now, lift the back heel off the mat slightly, so you might need to step the foot back a little bit. Back heel lifts. Hands are going to come forward towards either the chair or the ground, and you'll make your way towards either standing splits with the chair or standing splits with the hands on the ground. So come forward and lift up. Option if you're not using the chair, you're going to extend the hands forward and try to bring the forehead towards the shin as you lift the leg as high as you can get it. If standing splits is really familiar to you, you might try one or both hands onto the ankle. Those of you in our Warrior 3 variation, same concept. How much can you separate the legs? Just try to think about getting the legs away from each other as you lift the right foot. Hold 3, 2, and 1. Feet together. Forward fold if you're in standing splits. Those of us on the chair will just stay in the chair. And then lift up, take your time, walk the hands up and come up into Tadasana, facing forward. Breath in. Breath out. All right, hands come to your hips, shift your weight over into your right leg. Big step back, not a huge step, medium step back, I should say, into our pyramid prep. Your back toe, just take a glance, I should have told you this on the other side, but you know, better late than never. Your back toe should be pointing towards the top left corner of your mat. So that's kind of the angle of the foot, not too far in, not too far out. With the hands on the hips, pull the right hip backwards. Take a breath in. Lead with the chest and exhale, fold forward over that front leg. If you can't reach the ground, you're welcome to just stay here, holding with maybe a micro bend in the knee to support you. If you can reach the ground, hands can come down. The idea is to fold belly button to thigh, chin to shin, gazing at your big toe. So you pick. The goal, once more, is how can I feel a stretch on my right hamstring? How can I make this deeper? How can I fold deeper? Breath in. Breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up halfway if you're down. Those of you halfway, just stay. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, lift up all the way. Come to standing. You can bend that front knee a little bit to get you up there. Lift your back heel off the mat. Look forward, and this is where we move right into either standing splits or the Warrior 3 with the chair variation. Big step, lift, and then hands can come down either to the chair. If you're in Warrior 3, remember you're walking the hands as low as you can get, maybe one hand to the ankle or the other. Ideally, forehead towards the shin, gazing at the big toe. So you pick the level. The idea is, how can I get my legs far enough away from each other? Really try. Lift left leg as high as you can. Breath in. Breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Once more, you got it. Exhale, release, feet together, hands by your sides. If you have the chair or the table, you could step away. Let's all meet in a forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to either plank or tabletop, and then lower down slow. 4, 3, 2, to your belly, 1. Inhale, take a back bend of your choice. And exhale, lower down. Hands come by your sides. Curl your toes under and push up to tabletop pose. And then exhale, bring your toes together, knees wide, push back to child's pose. Take 4 breaths. Next, inhale, lift yourself back up and come to a seat on your heels just to briefly watch me. So I'm going to show you as we move through our last peak pose, and then we're going to take, like I said, a nice long shavasana. You might have a few different variations to set up. So if you can comfortably bring your hands to the ground in this position, you'll just stay like this. If you have blocks, and you can do this as well, you'll just stay. If you find this really, really hard, you are welcome to set up with a chair on either side of you. So you could support yourself with hands on a chair. So that's always available to you. One chair here to give yourself a little bit of support, because we are going to move through a movement that we did earlier in class. So from here, I will ask you to walk your hands back. And again, you might have yourself up on the chair. You might stay here. And then I'm going to cue the rest before you have a riot. So everybody meet me. You can come forward from your knees into tabletop pose. Walk your knees together. And then inhale, bring your right knee right away to the right tricep and just step that foot to the outside of the hand. And then big bend in that back knee. Or push the left knee back is what I meant. I was not cueing correctly. I was looking at my front knee. All right, so once you're here, lift your right hand up and then start to bring that foot to the inside. So it moves from the outside to the inside. Your hands are framing your foot. That might make it a little bit harder because your leg's like kind of in the way of your chest. Completely normal. After this, walk the hands back and straighten through the front leg. This is your splits, your half splits variation. Now, yes, what I'm doing today is splits. That's what we're working on. I didn't tell you because everybody's like, I can't do splits. Great, most people can't do splits, but we are going to work on playing with splits today. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what it looks like. We've already done this movement, moving in and out. So from here, just start to push back and forward a few times. This is our like little dancey. Body is just we're rocking the body like a little baby, telling it not to worry about a thing. And then the next time you come back, pause when you're in the back. Now from here, you might just stay. If you were like, Madison, this is all I've got. Instead, you will just try to push your left heel forward a little bit, wiggle your leg, wiggle your hip, wiggle your butt. That's kind of getting as deep as you can into this. You might be able to get a little bit farther by lifting the back knee up and moving that knee backwards slightly. And then you're going to be like, no, Madison, this is horrible. Now, this is where the dance comes in. You will look like an absolute weirdo if anyone looks at you, right? But I want you to try to wiggle your hips and wiggle and push your heel forward. So keep pushing left heel forward, moving, and you're going to stop when you decide to stop, but you might find wiggling side to side might be able to get you a little deeper in, and this is terrible for me, and normally I could never do the splits, but I'm going to get down and I'm going to trick my body. I'm also going to cheat with leaning my chest forward. So try leaning your chest over your thigh first. Push your knee back, chest comes toward the thigh, and then eventually try and lift chest and body up, and you might be in splits. You might be like, Madison, you're absolutely insane, and I'm not. It's horrible, I agree. We're gonna hold for one more breath, and then try to get ourselves out of this very strange contortionist pose by just sliding foot back, and I don't care if your mat wrinkles, slide front foot back, and then come to a seat on your heels. No graceful way to get out of it, and we're going to take a break. So, if you were like, that was horrible, that's fine. But I do want you to be aware temporarily of when I said splits. Did your body tense up immediately and go, oh no, we can't do that? When you tried to get into the pose, did you feel you were more forcing yourself down into it, or were you relaxing into it? We have another side. And the expectation here is not for you to do full splits. That's not ever the goal. More so, it's to allow you to experience the sensation of what if I relax a little more? What if instead of pushing and forcing, I can find a little more passivity in this pose? So let's try the other side. Come to tabletop pose, wrists under shoulders, again, knees under hips. And then you're going to take your other leg forward. I don't remember which one that is. Right? Yep, I don't know. I'm going to put my right one forward. I feel like that's kind of where I am. Then, same thing, push your left knee back, come to your Anjaneyasana, and wiggle your knee between your hands. So find that little bridge and your knee is crammed into your chest. That's fine and normal. Now push the hands back, straighten the leg. And come forward. Again, back. And forward. Once more, back. And now stay where you are. So I like to start first by pushing my right heel forward. So try to push the heel forward and then wiggle your hips side to side like you're a dog. Wiggle the hips, wiggle, 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 wiggle. No stress in the hips. We're not holding on. Now from there, you might start to lift the back knee up and you can bend into the front knee. If you notice, my knee's bent in the front as I push the back knee backwards, and you might stay in some approximation of like a half splits. If you can, start pushing the right heel forward and then keep wiggling your hips, sway side to side. When you need to pause, you can pause and be like, yeah, I'm doing it, but maybe close your eyes for a second and be like, okay, but can I relax? Because this is terrifying. Splits is terrifying for everybody, right? Unless you're a dancer, and props to you if you've just got a mad splits right now. But for the rest of us who aren't, it's a scary thing. So relax down a little bit more. You're almost out of it. Try leaning the chest towards the thigh and then maybe lifting back up. When you're ready, and I'm sure you're ready, pull right heel back. If your mat comes with you, I don't mind. Bring the left knee in, come up and out, and then walk that foot back and come to a seat on your heels. One more time, hands on top of the thighs. Close your eyes. A lot of times when we are faced with something challenging, we tense up. We bring force. And at the same time, those situations sometimes call for softness, for stillness, for play. So notice if your inclination was to get tense, to protect. It's okay, that's what we do as humans, but sometimes the softness can really also be transformative. Take a breath in. Breath out. Inhale, come forward, tabletop pose. And then lower all the way down to your belly. Walk the knees back, come down. Inhale, a back bend of your choice. Maybe it's just a baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Next, inhale, lift up and roll over onto your right side. And just come all the way down onto your back. If you're anything like me and you would like to get warm before we move towards Shavasana, please put on your warm socks, your sweater, grab a blanket so you've got it by you and you're ready. We're not completely finished, but we are going to move through our finishing stretches down to the mat. And then once you're there, walk your feet hip-width distance apart, heels towards hips. Press your palms down onto the mat by your sides, roll your shoulders down and back, and then inhale, lift your hips high, bridge pose. If you like, you could take this as a supported bridge with a block under your back. We are going to do 3, again, wiggling movements. So you could either just stay if you want to surrender. Reminder that a block or a bolster under the back is the ultimate surrender here. Exhale, very slowly lower down, one vertebra at a time, from the top of the spine down to your hips. Once you're ready, you'll take that up again. Lift the hips high, round 2. And then lower slowly, one vertebra at a time. Once more, inhale, lift up, bridge. And this time, if you have a bolster block under your back, you can move it out to the side and then lower down to the mat. Take one knee towards the chest and the other. Wrap the hands around the shin. Rock side to side on the low back. And then two options. Option one will be an easy twist to the left and right. Option two is banana pose today because I feel like banana. So you can either take a twist or come with me. I'll take my feet over to the left of the mat. I'll bump my hips over to the right side, straightening my legs. And then I'll take my right foot over my left foot if that feels okay. Hands will come up and over the head, stretching over to the left side of the mat. So essentially you're making a banana with your feet and head over to the left, your hips to the right. If you're in a twist, we've got 4 breaths here. When you're ready, let's transition onto the opposite side. Take your time moving there. You can even out the hips in the middle. And then those of you in banana, hips over to the left, feet to the right, crisscrossing left foot over right if it feels okay. Hands reach over to the right side of the mat. If you're in a twist, reminder that it's not about getting your foot down towards the ground or your knee down towards the ground as much as you can, but more about keeping the shoulders solid on the mat. And then 4 breaths. All right, when you feel like both sides are even, make your way back to center. If there's anything else you would like to do to close out your practice, by all means take it. Maybe a brief happy baby before making your way down to Shavasana, our ultimate pose of surrender, our ultimate pose of softening. And I find it interesting that a lot of times we do yoga, we do this practice of asana in order to prepare for Shavasana, for surrender, for meditation and rest. What comes first is forcing strength sometimes, right? We move, we sweat, and then we move into the real meaningful part of the practice, the real deep work, which is this act of surrender. So allow your palms to be face up, and once more, just try wiggling the feet and hips to make sure your body is relaxed, arms are relaxed, everything is on board with this idea, this notion that we are just going to soften into the ground, into the mat. Take a deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Don't worry, you get one more chance to do it right. Inhale. And then open mouth, exhale like you mean it. Nice work, full relaxation into Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. And out. Feel the softness and the relaxation in your body. And then wiggle your fingers and your toes. Slowly reawaken the arms and the legs. And eventually reach those hands over the head, point your toes. Nice big stretch. When you're ready, you can take one knee in towards the chest and then the other. Give yourself a little hug and a squeeze for showing up. Not always easy. And then roll over onto your favorite side. Just for a brief moment in fetal pose, using your arm as a pillow. Take a full breath in. And out. And then push yourself up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed, facing any direction. Once you're there, you can take your palms together at heart center, or maybe two hands over the heart, whatever you prefer. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, bow your chin to seal your practice. Lift your head back up. Get reacquainted with the room and the space around you. Thank you all. Fantastic work today. I appreciate your time, your efforts. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Feel free to stay in chat or send me a message. I always love to talk about yoga. And I will see you next week for the Sunday Sweat Club. Thank you guys.